Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Ripe for Reissue. Got to roll the R's there. Yeah, Ripe for Reissue. Did it. And, I'm down here in the overflow room doing this because that's where I've kept a lot of these particular Ripe for Reissue boxes. I just don't have room for everything upstairs. But today I want to talk to you about complete Beethoven editions and, the thought behind them and what became of them. And two of them in particular. I'm always having fun talking about things on major labels. This just blows my mind. So the big Beethoven edition came out in 2020, right? That was only 6 years ago. And what was that? That was the 250th anniversary of something Beethoven did. Yeah, I think he was born, right? He was born in 1770. Yeah, he died in 1827. Does that sound about right? It's some of those dates that we should have memorized, but I memorize nothing. So when it comes to dates, I just memorize music. So, whatever it was a Beethoven year. And next year, by the way, is a Beethoven year. It's the 200th anniversary of his death, right? Yeah, I think it is, actually. So it's going to happen again. And so now we're in the intermediate, moment. And this is what really fascinates me. Because between 2020 and 2027, well, it's only 7 years, those of you who can do the math. And it's an opportunity to sort of keep the attention on Beethoven. I mean, it's not as if nobody cares about Beethoven, except in Beethoven years. He still is the, arguably greatest and certainly most popular of all composers of classical music. I know the Bach people will have a nervous breakdown when I said that, but just get over it because it's true. Anyway, so we had these enormous Beethoven things. Here's the Beethoven Complete Edition on Universal from 2020. Remember this? I mean, this had duplicates on duplicates. You had extra symphony cycles and period instruments and regular instruments and kazoos and ocarinas and all kinds of stuff. An enormous box. It weighed 500 pounds. They put it all together. It was a whole production. And poof, it was gone like within a year or less. And then they had excerpts from it in other boxes. It was insane. And it's gone. Do they really think that between 2020 and 2027, nobody would be interested in Beethoven in the meantime? Or in getting a complete Beethoven edition? I mean, they couldn't have kept it around for a few years, knowing that it was going to be a Beethoven year. I'm very curious to know if this sucker is going to come back and in what form it's going to come back, if it's going to be a cheapy version of it. It's going to be very interesting to look at. So I wanted to mention that and just sort of show it to you. I mean, this clodhopper of a set is sitting here, and I don't understand why they let it go away in the first place. I mean, they went through all that effort. Let it stick around for a few years. 7 years. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. What would it have hurt them? But there you have it. Then there was the Warner set on 80 CDs. Here it is. It's all clumped up. I got a sense, frankly, that Warner was not terribly serious about doing a complete Beethoven edition. I mean, they cobbled it together and stuffed it in this little skinny box. And I mean, it's not bad. The performances are what they are, right? All of them have great performances in them. But, and that lasted for seconds. And again, and Warner has been doing composer boxes, right? I mean, and they come and go. I mean, they did a Debussy box, a Berlioz box, a Fauré box, a lot of French stuff, which is great. But, the Beethoven box, you would think they might want to let stick around for a while, but evidently they didn't. And so it hasn't. And I am curious to see what happens of that, because this one, pardon me, the symphonies, by the way, were the Harnoncourt cycle. I mean, they've got so much great Beethoven in their catalog. Warner, oh my God, there's room for improvement. They could enrich this. They could make it really interesting for the 2020 anniversary. I'm not sure Universal can do anything at this point, other than just reissue what they had. But Warner, there's room there. Now, checking on Amazon, I noticed that the smaller labels, or the independent labels, have done more, and more sensibly. The best complete Beethoven edition, for completeness, for absolute completeness, is this one, the Naxos Beethoven edition. It has the most music. I mean, because Beethoven, they say the complete Beethoven, but, when we say complete, is it ever really complete? There's everything the man wrote. There's every scrap, every sketch, every thing he ever had a hand in. Most of them, no matter how complete they say they are, aren't note complete. The closest to that is the Naxos. It was done with great scholarship and thoroughness, largely abetted by my good friend, Dr. Sörenmeyer Eller in Munich, who is meticulous to the innermost fiber of his being when he undertakes a research project. And he made sure that this Beethoven edition was the most complete of all of them. And it's still available. I just looked on Amazon. It's there for $153. The Japanese version's like $170. But it's still a good deal. It has, oh, God knows how many CDs in it. 90, actually. 90 CDs, over 100 hours of music, world premiere recordings. It's really the library edition to get, if you want to just make sure you have everything that Beethoven wrote. The Brilliant Classics Beethoven edition is also still available, which is also quite wonderful. It was recently reissued. And that has great things in it too. So the independent labels, it's upstairs. That's the only reason I'm not like waving it in front of you. But Brilliant Classics still has its complete Beethoven edition. So, we are okay as far as Beethoven editions go. But it's very interesting to look at what these independent labels did as opposed to what the major labels did when it comes to their handling of Beethoven and their complete Beethoven sets. And it seems to me just ridiculous, especially if you want to economize, to let these things disappear and then only a few years later have to do it all over again. If indeed they do it all over again next year in 2027. So I am very interested. I want to make sure it is 2027. Just let me just, why don't they ever have Beethoven's dates here? I should actually have it memorized as a serious classical person, classical music person. It's a humiliation that I don't, but let me see. Yeah, 2027, 1770 to 26 March, 1827. So next year is the Beethoven year. And so we're going to see what they're going to do, aren't we? Whether they'll be up for it. But Naxos and Brilliant Classics don't have to be. They've been ready all along. That just seems to me a much smarter way to handle it than to just do these big productions and spend all this money promoting them and then letting them vanish in 5 minutes and then doing it again. If indeed they do it again. But we'll see. I'm interested to see what happens, who does it and what and where. And oh my God, next year is going to be just full of fun. It's going to be reissue central. You wait and see. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.